Many of us are wondering which team John Wall is going to get traded to, but one thing that a lot of people haven't paid attention to is the response that some players gave to John Wall wanting to play for Houston. As of now, John Wall is not scheduled to play a game for Houston so far, and this left many like PJ Tucker wondering why. You have him responding to an Instagram post by John Wall saying, "Free my effing little brother, effing lames," clearly expressing frustration at the Rockets franchise as a whole for how they're dealing with John Wall. But why is he mad of all people? I mean, didn't the Rockets trade him to a contending team to where he ended up winning a championship? Okay, so what's the deal? There must be more to the story, right? And what if I were to tell you that not only is there more to the story, but if you do a little digging, it will all begin to make sense. Hear me out, okay? So, last season, or in 2021, March, PJ Tucker, warming up for a game on a Thursday, decides he doesn't want to suit up and play for the Rockets that day. At this point, the relationship between him and the franchise was very strained, with him wanting out of Houston and wanting to be in a contending team. This comes off the heel of James Harden being traded to the Brooklyn Nets, and so seeing that and the direction the Rockets franchise is going, Tucker wants out as well. But one part of the story that most people miss that Houston fans are going to remember very clearly is Tucker talking with the Rockets front office to get a contract going to where he could get paid a good amount of money to stay in the team, and unfortunately for him, the Rockets just did not want to offer up the money that he was demanding. The Rockets offered a 2-year $17 million contract in which $10 million of those would be guaranteed, whilst Tucker wanted a fully guaranteed 2-year $24 million contract, and that's where you see a lot of his frustrations coming from. He thinks he's worth more money, the Rockets didn't think so, and the Rockets, not only did they trade him away due to him being frustrated, well, what if I were to tell you they actually got players now that do everything that Tucker has done for the Rockets not long ago, and not only that, they do even more than Tucker's ever done, and they didn't even have to spend $10 million to get these players. Now let's get straight into it, guys. Jae'sean Matthews, okay? That's the first player we'll be talking about. It's no secret that as of this video being published, the Rockets are currently on a 3-game winning streak, with Jae'sean Matthews being very instrumental in all of those 3 wins. The obvious thing that he does that you can see in the box scores, shooting the 3-pointer lights out. I mean, the first 4 games he's played for the Rockets this season, it hasn't gone in at the same rate that it has over the last 3 games. 6 of 22 over the first 4 games. That rounds up at around 27.3% 3-point shooting. Not so good, but over the last 3 games, he's been 12 of 24, right at 50%. And a lot of the shots he's been taking for the Rockets, they're pretty familiar. Eerily familiar, in fact. He's been mostly dialing in from the corners, okay? And ever since he was inserted in the starting lineup, I mean, things have gotten much smoother. The offense just clicks even better with him on the floor. But it's not just the offense that he provides for you. The defense as well. I mean, he takes up so many charges already. He's only played 7 games, mind you. And he's got a total of 5 charges drawn. That's good enough to being second right behind Blake Griffin for most charges drawn per game. And it's funny that he measures in at the same height as PJ at 6'5". He also is pretty big for a guy at 6'5", and he could play the forward position very often as he has over the last 3 games. Now, if you think that's all Houston did to replace PJ Tucker, I mean, you've just been living under a rock. Clearly, Jae'sean Matthews is not going to do everything PJ Tucker does. I mean, I'm pretty sure you were wondering to yourself, well, where is it? Where is the hustle play? I mean, Jae'sean Matthews does give you that, but where's the physical play on both ends? Where's the hustle stats? Where's the je ne sais quoi? This dude played like he was 6'10" at times, man. Wait a minute. I think Rockets fans can agree that sounds familiar. That sounds like somebody that's already playing for the Rockets right now. I mean, he's pretty undersized for the position he plays in at the moment. Over the last 3 games, The lineups included Kevin Porter Jr., Eric Gordon, you had Christian Wood at center, you had Garrison Matthews at the 3, and jae'sean Tate, folks, at the 4 position. 6'4", an inch under PJ Tucker's height. But he does so much more than PJ Tucker has ever done on offense. I mean, he gives you the 3-pointers, right? He gives you the offensive rebounding. He gives you the physical play to where you think he's much taller than he is when he plays in the paint. He finishes at such a high efficiency rate. I mean, this dude is phenomenal. He currently averages over 11 points a game with over 6 rebounds a game. And he does dish it out from time to time, with his latest game being a marvelous 15 and 6 and 8. Yes, 8 assists. I mean, that's just insane. This dude plays with so much ferocity, man. This guy on the defensive end, he's become that defensive stopper. With him defending your best players, you have LeBron James going 4 of 12 when defended by jae'sean Tate, and then Luka Doncic going 1 of 5 one game when he was being defended by jae'sean Tate. It's just obvious that his evolution in this game is going to be, quite frankly, is going to be ridiculous, man. And if the Rockets can put pieces around that will complement jae'sean Tate's role in this team well, it's going to be lights out. This Rockets team can actually scare some folks, and they might do it sooner or later. I mean, this dude draws up the most charges for this team. He's got 7 charges. Okay, Alperen Sengun's got 5 charges as well. I mean, you got players that are willing to risk their bodies out there on the defensive end. And jae'sean Tate, I mean, he plays so well at both levels. He's so good, man. Now that I think about it, it's not fair to put him in the same list as, you know, a guy like PJ Tucker. I think at the way his game is going right now, he could be, you know, a Draymond Green type player. I mean, you could see the potential on both ends already. It's just amazing to watch. Clearly, the Rockets weren't willing to pay $24 million for a player like PJ Tucker because they knew they could get players for dirt cheap to do the very things that PJ Tucker's been known to do for the Rockets for so long. And not only that, they've gotten players to do even more of what PJ Tucker's done. And let's just go into it, guys. Garrison Matthews, he's on a 2-way contract right now. And jae'sean Tate is on a 2-year, $3 million contract at the moment. I mean, I can't blame the Rockets for not wanting to pay him $24 million over the next 2 years when you've got 2 players that can already do more than he's ever done. And all you have to pay them is like less than $5 million over the next 2 years. When you look at it that way, the Rockets simply knew what they were doing. And it's just, you can feel bad for PJ, but the Rockets also saw the writing on the wall, and they did what was best for them, just like he did when he went to the Bucks. If you enjoyed this video, all I ask is that you give me one more try, okay? You watch this video that's coming up on your screen, okay? Just click on it and see if you like it. And if I'm 2 of 2, I mean, what are you waiting for at this point? All I ask is that you subscribe, as I try to make videos like these every day, and I'm hoping I could do some things involving you guys at some point in the future. What are you waiting for? Click on it already. I don't have all